Okay, hi everybody. So I'm shooting this from two cameras. See which one comes out better. My Canon, hi Canon, and my Dell laptop camera, which is right there. Hi cameras. Hello Canon. Hello Dell. So I just wrote this out. This is kind of what's coming up here for me, and what I've been thinking about how to figure out where to go next, to determine my next path. And I will read through this. And so, okay, here it goes. Where I am going, where to next, where to today. Hi, everybody. Chuck here. It's pretty common knowledge that all of the long-term expats living in Vietnam on tourist visas are being forced out. My visa agent told me in early June I would not be getting an extension. I was able to get a flight the day after my extension expired, so I left unscathed. That was nice. They extended that one day for me for free. It was perhaps my 12th month-long extension to my old tourist visa. The Viets basically said, "Sorry, Charlie, no more. We're not doing this anymore." So I flew from Da Nang on July 6th and landed in DC on July 7th. Since then, I have been analyzing and probing places to go, as well as having a thorough physical at the VA hospital here in Washington. I have one thing left to do at the VA, and it's a colonoscopy, and I've had a few. My family has a history of colon cancer. My grandmother died of colon cancer. My mom had 18 inches of her colon removed when she was in her 50s, and so they watch us like a hawk. I have 4 sisters and me, and they watch us closely. Every 3 years since we were 45, so that's a good thing, but I need to be on it and get it done. So my initial criteria, and perhaps my overriding criteria, is to get back to Asia. Asia, I love Asia. Either Thailand or Vietnam or Cambodia. I have friends here who said Cambodia is amazing. Amazing. They love Cambodia way better than Thailand or Vietnam. So that's certainly something to think about. I always heard it was just hotter than hell. So and no beach. So I don't know. We'll see. But the person I talked to just was in love with it. My second criteria is that I want flip-flops and palm trees and motorbikes. I mean, those 3 things spoil us so beautifully. It's just like, oh my God. Just throw on your stupid bicycle helmet and jump on your motorbike with flip-flops and go to the grocery store. Go meet friends for coffee. So easy. So lovely, so easy. So so that means that I can't really be too far away from an equator. That actually is pretty easy to do. Da Nang is 16 degrees north. And I'm leading to where I'm headed, but an example of gentle, more northern latitudes. Los Angeles is 35 degrees north, and it has really gentle weather year-round, right? I mean, in the winter it's jeans and maybe a thin leather jacket, but people are in convertibles all year. And so what I'm thinking about is Tangier. Both Tangier and LA are about 35 degrees north, and I've been following the weather in Tangier closely, and it is gentle. I mean, lows of the 50s and highs in the low 80s. So just beautiful, gentle weather year round. And that sounds like LA too, right? Where am I here? Also, Buenos Aires is 35 degrees south. So it has similar weather to both Tangier and LA. And Buenos Aires is high on my list. That has a great reputation for expats, except it's currently closed, so that's a drag. Also, El Paso, Texas is 32 degrees north, so that has beautiful weather. And, as I add another 10 years or another 15 years to what I have right now, I'm going to be looking for a place to settle down, and I love the food in Texas. It's, 4,000 feet, so it has some altitude. There's a river running through it. The weather's great. I don't know. We'll see. Go build a container house there. Other than extraneous influences, such as lovers and friends, my first choice would be Buenos Aires. It is currently rated as a no-go zone by the U.S. State Department, and in fact is closed to almost everybody. That damn COVID. But during normal times, Argentina is easy to get into, and it is easy to bring your Vietnamese girlfriend into. They said just prove your relationship, and it should be okay. So that is a great choice after it opens. And Argentina is cheap. It's cheap, cheap. The exchange, there's crazy exchange rate stuff that goes on down there. There's the official exchange rate, that's $1 to 98 Argentinian pesos, and there's the unofficial exchange rate that you get through Western Union, that's $1 to 170 Argentine pesos. So you ship your money from the U.S. via Western Union and you make bank. So that's what they're doing. You know, you find that stuff out by examining the Facebook forums and talking to people and chatting people up and getting into detailed conversations about, I want to come down there. And I was almost to buy a ticket, and they said, wait, do you have a visa? And I said, no. And they said, it's closed. And it's like, oh, shit. Yeah, that was a drag. I was ready to buy my ticket, and they said, hey, it's closed. Sorry. And that's when I wrote to the embassy, and they said, sorry, it's closed. I am fully vaccinated with Moderna, so that's a good thing. That's one of the things I wanted to do. Okay, so my second choice is Tangier, Morocco. I am interested in this part of the world. Tangier has had an amazing history and sits in an amazing place, just south of Gibraltar. The Rock of Gibraltar points down across the Strait of Gibraltar, which is where the Mediterranean flows into the Atlantic on the north end of Africa and the south end of the Iberian Peninsula. If you've studied any of the history of the Moors invading the Iberian Peninsula and being pushed back again by the Christian armies over and over again, tit for tat for 800 years, from the 8th century until the 16th century, then you will find this region fascinating. So the Moors came up from the Moors came up from North Africa into Iberian Peninsula, and the Christians pushed them back down. Up and down, and tit for tat, all these wars, push and shove. And finally, it was in the 15th century, 1400s, that the Christians finally kicked all the Moors out. Crazy, 800 years they did it. I have 16th century, but I think it was 15th century. It was 1400 something when the Christians finally kicked the last Moors out. Anyway, so you find this region fascinating. It will be easy to explore Morocco, Spain, and Portugal from here, so that's nice. It's a 19-mile ferry ride across into Spain from Tangier, and it's cheap too, and fast. I mean, they're hydrofoil ferries, so you can zip across quickly. That's how you do border runs too. You get 90 days free, and then go do a border run, and you come back with a new 90 days free, no visa. So that's way cool. It will be easy to explore Morocco, Spain, and Portugal from here. For my viewers and for myself, I want to thoroughly explore Tangier. It is not a giant place. I can navigate it on foot, and hopefully I will be able to find a motorbike. When I was in Da Nang, I walked for the first 60 days, and so I'm sort of relating this to what I could hope to find in Tangier. But when I was in Da Nang, I walked for the first 60 days until I had explored everything within my foot range. So you walk concentric circles as you explore your neighborhood, right? And it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and then pretty soon it's like, I can't go any further. I have to rent a motorbike. But within that 60 days, I subsequently began to understand the way traffic flowed, and thus revealing the freaky nature of Asian motorbike traffic. I had observed it closely for 2 months before I started riding. I rented a motorbike to extend my range, and that worked out well. And I'm a pretty good observer, and I watch traffic. I paid attention to what people were doing on motorbikes, and it's like, okay, I have that figured out. I can do that. I'm not freaked out by the chaos. And it looks chaotic until you get into it, and then it's like school of fish kind of stuff, Just go where they go. Really, I have a few choices. It appears as though I will head to Tangier to explore and wait to see what happens in Asia and South America. Tangier is closer to Asia than, say, Mexico. I hope to explore Tangier really well. I want to know the restaurants in the alleys, the shopkeepers, the good deals, the rip-offs, the leather jacket stalls, the rug merchants, the bronze kitchenware shops, and take you on the journey with me. Morocco is cool. Almost 40% of its population is vaccinated, And it has bullet trains. Morocco has bullet trains. I mean, it's more advanced than the U.S. Casablanca is quickly becoming the financial capital of Africa, and so I so badly want to see the stars in the Sahara night. You know, Lawrence of Arabia is one of my favorite movies. It might be my favorite movie. And I really want to ride a camel into the desert and camp under the stars. I really want to do that. So to wrap this up, you know, the plan then is to head to Tangier, explore it, keep an eye on South America and Asia for openings, for border easings, you know, and then decide where to go next. And I'm going to buy a ticket in about 15 days. I have a colonoscopy on the 8th of September, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to get an all clear. You're good for another 3 years, good for another 5 years, whatever. And then take off. As soon as I hear that, I'm buying a ticket. I'm going to get Airbnb for a week in Tangier and look for an apartment. And I think to get from Dulles to Tangier, it's a nonstop flight. Cheap, $500 maybe. So that's where I'll be. I just want to say kisses, cheers, mad hugs to everybody. Thanks for coming with me on my little mad adventures. I will post another video in a week, I suspect. I've been doing it. It's kind of in my blood. It's like what I do. I go crazy if I'm not doing that. So, okay. Love you madly. Bye.